After these things, God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. He said, Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you. So Abraham arose early in the morning, saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and his son Isaac. He cut the wood for the burnt offering, and arose, and went to the place of which God had told him. On the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes, and saw the place from afar. Then Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey. I and the boy will go over there, and worship, and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering, and laid it on Isaac his son, and he took in his hand the fire and the knife. So they went, both of them together. And Isaac said to his father Abraham,
My father.
And he said, Here I am, my son. He said,
Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?
Abraham said, God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son. So they went both of them together. When they came to the place of which God had told him, Abraham built the altar there, and laid the wood in order to bound Isaac his son, and lay him on the altar on top of the wood. Then Abraham reached out his hand and took the knife to slaughter his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. He said, Do not lay a hand on the boy, or do anything to him. For now I know that you fear God, seeing that you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him was a ram, caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called the name of that place, The Lord will provide. As it is said to this day, On the mount of the Lord it shall be provided. And the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time from heaven, and said, By myself I have sworn, declares the Lord, because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son. I will surely bless you, and I will surely multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven, and as the sand that is on the seashore. And your offspring shall possess the gate of his enemies, and in your offspring shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned to his young men, and they arose and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham lived at Beersheba. Now after these things, it was told to Abraham,
Behold, Milcah has borne children to your brothers Nahor, Uz his firstborn, Buz his brother, Camel the father of Aram, Chest, Hazo, Pildash, Jopad, and Bethuel.
Bethuel, father of Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. Moreover, his concubine, whose name was Reumah, bore Tabin, Gaham, Tehash, and Maacah.
I said, Here I am, he said, take your son. Early I will arise on the mountains, and I will tell you which one. Early I will arise. Took some donkeys and a couple of young ones. Take 2 of my young guys. On the 3rd day I saw the place from afar. As I lift up my eyes, Oh, 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 oh. I'm walking to put my son as my sacrifice. Oh, 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 I'm going to put my son as my sacrifice. Isaac is my sacrifice.
God said Abraham, I say here I am. He said, take your son and go to the land of Moriah and offer him. As I burnt offering on the mountain, I set up my donkey at forenoon. And my young man, I took two cups of wood, and then we arose. Got the place God told me to worship there. Return to you, to out of the wood, and I take the knife. We rose together and make a fire. He says, Father, I says, here am I see the fire and sticks. But where's the offering? He will provide for himself something just like a ram.
Oh, 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 I'm going to put my son as my sacrifice. Oh, 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 I'm going to put my son as my sacrifice. Isaac is my sacrifice. Then he said, Abraham. Then he said, Abraham. And I said, here I am. And he said, here I am. You fear me. Then he said, Abraham. And I said, here I am. Do nothing to your son. You fear me. Then he said, Abraham. And I said, here I am. And I behold around. Oh, 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 I'm going to put this ram as my sacrifice. Oh, 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 I know that the Lord, He will provide. I know the Lord will provide. Whoa. Oh, 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 I'm going to put this ram as my sacrifice. Oh, 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 I'm going to put this ram as my sacrifice. Do nothing to your son. You fear me, and I'll behold the ram. You fear me, and I'll behold the ram. The Lord will provide. No, the Lord will afford. You fear me, multiply your offspring as the sand in the sea. You didn't withhold your son. I'll bless thee.
Reading the Good Book was brought to you by Anchor, the simplest way to make a podcast, and Epidemic Sound, royalty-free sound for your best projects. And if you like it, be sure to rate us on Apple Podcasts, or just tell a friend. Yes, like a brother, a sister, or even a dog. If you want to follow the host or the podcast itself, the links are in the episode's description. Thanks for listening. Goodbye. Yes, thanks for listening.